He went up against legends, defied time, and built a legacy that lives on across generations. In the golden era of bodybuilding, his name shone bright. But behind the trophies, there's a story few people know, a journey powered by discipline, vision, and raw passion for the sport. Get ready to meet the man who went far beyond the stage. Grab your pre-workout and come with us on the path of a true warrior. You'll understand why Boyer Coe is still remembered today as a symbol of the old school days. This isn't just about muscles, it's about purpose. And this story, it's going to light a fire in you. If you follow bodybuilding or have seen pictures from the 70s and 80s, you've definitely heard of Boyer Coe. He wasn't just another athlete. He was a symbol of consistency, dedication, and pure love for the sport. His nickname, the Ragin' Cajun, said it all. A fierce competitor, born from humble beginnings, with unstoppable drive. Over 4 decades, he built a legacy that goes way beyond trophies and medals. In this video, we're diving into his story, a story of grit, sweat, and muscle. Boyer Coe was born on August 18, 1946, in Lake Charles, Louisiana. From a young age, he was into sports and physical activity. Even as a kid, he was fascinated by muscular physiques in magazines and dreamed of looking like those guys one day. But back then, there wasn't easy access to information or gyms, so he started with what he had. Calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups became his foundation. And maybe that's where his discipline was born, training hard even without ideal conditions. At 13, Boyer took his first serious step. He bought a pair of dumbbells and a barbell with a few plates. He set everything up in his garage and trained alone. Day after day, his body began to transform, and people at school definitely noticed. He stood out not just for his strength, but for an uncommon level of determination for someone his age. With every training session, his love for bodybuilding grew stronger. By the time he was 17, he could bench press a staggering 420 pounds, 190 kilograms. But things really started to shift when he joined a local gym in Lake Charles. That's where he met Red L'Oreal, a bodybuilding icon who had won Mr. America in 1960. Red immediately saw Boyer's potential and took him under his wing, offering priceless advice on training, nutrition, and posing. That mentorship was key. It helped Boyer understand what it really took to compete. And beyond that, he gained a friend for life. How much value do you place on mentors in your journey? Sometimes, they're the ones who push us to the next level. While he was training hard, Boyer also stayed focused on his education. He went to the University of Lafayette, where he graduated in psychology and business. That academic background would help him down the line in the fitness industry. But even with his college schedule, he never skipped workouts. He balanced school and bodybuilding, proving you can grow mentally and physically at the same time. That kind of balance is a game changer. In 1964, at just 19 years old, Boyer decided to test himself on stage for the first time. He competed in Mr. New Orleans in front of a crowd of 10,000 people. And guess what? He won. That victory was a turning point. It happened just days before his high school graduation and confirmed his calling for competitive bodybuilding. That's when a true competitor was born. Fired up by that win, Boyer kept entering more regional and national contests. Between 1965 and 1968, he racked up titles like Mr. Texas, Teen Mr. America, and Junior Mr. USA. He was just getting started, but already making waves. His physique was becoming more and more impressive, and his reputation started to grow. The kid who started lifting in his garage was now a serious athlete, ready for bigger stages. This early chapter in Boyer's life is packed with lessons for anyone starting out, in fitness or any other path. Start with the basics. Learn from those ahead of you. Balance your passions with your responsibilities. And don't quit when things get tough. After winning his first competition in 1964, Boyer never looked back. Over the next few years, he kept competing and winning on the local and national scenes. Titles like Mr. Texas, Teen Mr. America, and Junior Mr. USA showed how fast and steadily he was improving. And as the 60s turned into the 70s, he started gaining recognition on the international stage. His physique kept evolving, bigger, leaner, more balanced. Have you noticed how long-term consistency leads to amazing results? In 1969, Boyer hit a major milestone. He won the prestigious Mr. America title from the AAU and also took home the NABA Mr. Universe crown. That's when he stopped being just promising and officially became a star in the bodybuilding world. These victories opened the door to even bigger competitions and international invites. It was the payoff for years of hard work. How many times does success only show up after endless persistence? Boyer knew success takes patience, and that only pushed him harder. Throughout the 1970s, he stacked up wins in events like Mr. World and multiple IFBB Grand Prix shows. He also claimed titles in NABA and WBBG contests, which earned him worldwide recognition. He was admired for his consistency, always landing among the top names, even while going up against legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frank Zane. His edge? A perfectly aesthetic physique paired with calm, professional stage presence. One of the most iconic moments in his career was competing in the Mr. Olympia, the biggest stage in bodybuilding. He stepped on that stage multiple times throughout the 70s and 80s, finishing in the top 4 in 1977, 1978, and 1980. That's an enormous accomplishment considering the level of talent back then. He never took home the Sando, but his consistency kept him among the sport's elite. Let's be real, making it to Olympia's top 4 is a dream that few ever achieve. The 1980s still held great moments for Boyer. In 1981, for instance, he crushed it by winning major titles like the Grand Prix of Belgium, Massachusetts, and the World Cup. That same year, he also won the Canada Pro Cup. It was a hot streak that proved he could still compete at the highest level, even as the years went by. While many others were fading, Boyer was only getting better. His last big highlight came in the early 90s, when he returned to the stage after some time away. He competed at the Masters Olympia in 1994 and 1995, finishing 3rd and 10th, respectively. Coming back like that, as a veteran, showed his longevity in the sport. Even after decades, he could still impress with his conditioning and drive. Not many people have the fire and love for the sport to compete in their 40s and beyond. All of this proves Boyer Coe wasn't just a great athlete. He was a living example of consistency, discipline, and love for what he did. With dozens of titles, appearances in top events, and a career that spanned generations, he cemented his place as one of the most respected bodybuilders of all time. But champions aren't made only of trophies. Boyer Coe also faced his share of tough moments. One of the most controversial chapters in bodybuilding history happened in 1980 during the Mr. Olympia in Sydney, Australia. What was supposed to be just another epic showdown became one of the sport's biggest scandals. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who had retired and was busy filming Conan the Barbarian, decided to compete at the last minute. The announcement shocked everyone, athletes and fans alike. What followed sparked outrage. Arnold won the show, but the result was heavily criticized. Many believed other competitors like Mike Mincer, Frank Zane, and even Boyer Coe came in with better, more refined physiques. The crowd at the event even booed the judge's decision, something almost unheard of at the time. The obvious favoritism raised major questions about fairness and judging standards. Even though Boyer was known for his respectful and balanced attitude, he didn't stay silent. Along with other athletes, he voiced his disappointment with the outcome. The issue wasn't just losing, it was about the integrity of the sport. How do you stay motivated when the rules seem like they don't matter? Mike Mincer was especially vocal and ended up stepping away from professional bodybuilding not long after. Boyer kept competing, but that night left a deep mark on how he viewed the sport. The fallout from the 1980 Olympia was so big that several top athletes chose to boycott the following year's event. Big names like Boyer Coe, Frank Zane, Chris Dickerson, and Mike Mincer were all absent in 1981. Their absence seriously impacted the credibility of that year's competition. Many still see it as one of the weakest Olympias ever. The organizers tried to carry on like normal, but the shadow of the previous year loomed large. For fans, the 1980 Olympia was a massive letdown. People were expecting a fair battle between the best physiques on Earth. not a surprise comeback with a rigged feel. CBS had recorded the event to air it on national TV in the US, but after the backlash, they decided not to broadcast it at all. That never happened again. It was the last time a major US network filmed the Olympia. In other words, that controversy had real consequences for bodybuilding's image. Even without winning, Boyer Coe stood his ground and earned even more respect for his integrity. He didn't let frustration turn into bitterness, but he also didn't stay quiet when something felt wrong. That says a lot about his character and just how much he loved the sport and wanted to see it grow the right way. This chapter shows that in sports and in life, things aren't always fair, but how we respond to injustice is what really defines our greatness. Boyer Coe proved that a true champion isn't measured just by medals, but by values and attitude. Now let's talk about one thing that always stood out in Boyer Coe's physique: symmetry. Broad shoulders, a tight waist, thick arms, and massive pecs. He looked like he was carved out of stone, but none of that happened by chance. Boyer was known for having an almost military-level training discipline. He'd wake up at 5 a.m. every day and head straight to the gym. Rain or shine, tired or traveling, training came first. His go-to training style was something he called work capacity training, or WCT. He developed it as a variation of high-intensity training, with some unique twists. He used pyramid sets, gradually increasing the weight until reaching max load, then lowering the weight and repeating the cycle. Rest times between sets were short, around 60 seconds, keeping the pace fast and challenging. One of Boyer's golden rules was using a full range of motion. No half squats, sloppy pull-downs, or rushed reps. He believed perfect form was the key to growing safely and avoiding injuries. Lifting the weight in a controlled motion and lowering it even slower, that was his signature. On top of that, he emphasized the mind-muscle connection, feeling every inch of the contraction. His weekly routine was well-structured. Chest and back on Mondays and Thursdays, shoulders and arms on Tuesdays and Fridays, and legs on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Sundays were for rest. This setup gave each muscle group enough stimulation and recovery time. The secret, according to Boyer, was keeping volume and intensity high, without wasting time on pointless reps. Even after retiring from competitions, Boyer never quit training. He still hit the gym up to 5 times a week, keeping the lifestyle he had built for decades. Of course, the intensity wasn't what it used to be, but the desire to challenge himself never faded. That's what shows a true athlete, someone who doesn't just live for the stage, but lives the lifestyle every day. Another major strength of Boyer's was his mindset. He believed consistent effort beats raw talent every time. He used to say, "I just trained hard and stayed committed." Simple, but powerful. Instead of chasing shortcuts, he built solid results through dedication and routine. Boyer Coe's training style teaches us that just going to the gym isn't enough. You have to train with purpose. Every rep, every set, every day serves a role in the bigger picture. It's not about copying someone's routine. It's about learning what works for you. And if Boyer's training was intense, his diet was just as serious. He followed that classic golden era approach: simple, high-calorie, functional eating. No ultra-processed junk or trendy nutrition hacks. His meals were packed with high-quality protein sources like eggs, chicken, fish, red meat, and even pork. He didn't fear fat, especially saturated fat, which back then was seen as muscle-building fuel. One of his most iconic habits was drinking raw eggs, a common practice among bodybuilders at the time. They believed it was a fast and efficient way to get protein. Today, most people skip it for safety reasons, but back then it was practically a morning ritual. He also made homemade shakes with powdered milk, eggs, oats, and even fruit, all blended up. No artificial sweeteners or store-bought powders. During his off-season, when he wasn't prepping for a show, Boyer ate massive amounts of complex carbs. Rice, sweet potatoes, oats, and pasta were staples to fuel heavy training and muscle growth. He knew that building size meant eating big, even if that meant gaining a bit of fat too. These days, a lot of people are scared of dirtying their bulk, but maybe we're just overthinking it. When show season came around, the strategy changed. He would gradually cut carbs, focusing on low glycemic options to improve definition and reduce body fat. Protein stayed high to preserve muscle, and healthy fats like olive oil, egg yolks, and nuts were kept in measured amounts. Boyer wasn't into extreme cuts. He preferred slow, sustainable adjustments. Even without the supplement variety we have today, Boyer made the most of what was available back then. Basic protein powder, amino acid capsules, and occasionally some vitamins and minerals. But his real focus was always on real food. He believed the best supplement was a solid diet, and everything else was just a bonus. Honestly, that mindset still holds up today. Boyer's discipline with food matched his discipline in the gym. He didn't eat for pleasure. He ate with purpose. Every meal had a function: to fuel, to grow, or to cut. And even with a busy schedule, he found time to plan and prep his meals. That just proves that real results come from the small decisions we make every single day. Have you ever stopped to think how much your diet impacts your results? Maybe it's time to pay closer attention to that. Boyer Coe's approach to eating reminds us there's no magic, only consistency and strategy. Eating well isn't about following trends. It's about understanding what your body actually needs to reach your goals. If you want real physical progress, you've got to see food as fuel, not just pleasure. Boyer Coe wasn't just a beast on stage. He also made his mark as a visionary entrepreneur. After racking up dozens of titles, he decided to use his experience to impact the sport beyond the competitions. He founded Body Masters, a gym chain that brought quality training to thousands across the U.S. The mission was simple: make bodybuilding more accessible by offering structure, real methodology, and inspiration. But his innovative mindset didn't stop there. Teaming up with Arthur Jones, creator of the Nautilus system, Boyer helped spread and apply high-intensity training, HIIT, principles. That collaboration played a key role in shifting how people approach strength training. The goal? Show that quality beats quantity. Short, intense workouts with proper recovery could deliver amazing results. Beyond the gym world, Boyer also stood out as a communicator. In the 90s, he hosted a TV show focused on fitness and bodybuilding, where he interviewed athletes, explained workouts, and talked about health. He was one of the first to bring bodybuilding to a mainstream audience, helping break stereotypes and showing that lifting wasn't just for pros, it was for anyone seeking a better life. In 1996, Boyer appeared in the documentary Stand Tall, which followed his rivalry with Lou Ferrigno at the 1994 Masters Olympia. The film gave a behind-the-scenes look at their prep, the emotional reality of returning to the stage, and the intensity of competition among veterans. Boyer came across as focused, technical, and relentless, and many fans consider that performance one of his best ever. Another major innovation came from his work in fitness equipment. Boyer launched a company that developed the lock-and-load system, a safer and more efficient way to change weights on machines. Later, he contributed to even more advanced projects, including FlexDrive, a system that combined mechanics, electronics, and data to boost performance and training feedback. Boyer's impact on bodybuilding goes far beyond aesthetics or stage presence. He helped turn the sport into a full-blown cultural movement, shaping coaches, brands, and the way people think about training. His image appeared on over 100 magazine covers, including Muscle and Fitness, Iron Man, and Flex. But he didn't just pose. He used that spotlight to teach and inspire, not just to sell. Boyer Coe reminds us that a true legacy isn't built on trophies alone. He built an empire on knowledge, ethics, and love for bodybuilding. He created businesses, influenced generations, and pioneered countless areas in the fitness world. And he did all that without ever losing his soul as an athlete and a human being. Even as a true icon of bodybuilding, Boyer never let fame go to his head. Offstage, he lives a peaceful life in California with his wife, Valerie Sund, who also shares his passion for fitness. The two are known for their strong partnership and mutual support through the years. For Boyer, family has always been the foundation of success, because without emotional support, staying disciplined in the sport gets a lot harder. And even though he retired from competition, Boyer never stopped training. Today, well into his 70s, he still hits the gym 5 times a week, holding on to the same spirit that made him a legend decades ago. Sure, the intensity isn't the same, but the passion still burns. And that is truly inspiring. Beyond the physique, Boyer always invested in his mind. With a degree in business, he used his knowledge to launch and manage his own ventures, including gyms and fitness equipment companies. That proves he was never just a strong body. He was a man of vision and strategy. His education helped him build a solid legacy off stage too. Boyer's life philosophy is simple but powerful. If you believe you'll be a champion, half the battle is already won. For him, everything starts in the mind. Before lifting heavy weights, you gotta lift strong thoughts. That mindset is what kept him going, even on the hard days. How many times have you thought about giving up just because you doubted yourself? Maybe that's the turning point, believing in your potential, even when results take time to show up. He also teaches that success doesn't come from comparing yourself to others, but from staying committed to your own journey. While many athletes got lost trying to copy their idols, Boyer focused on beating the person he was yesterday. That mindset kept him relevant for decades, even as he competed against new generations. Today, he encourages young athletes not to follow pre-made formulas, but to create their own paths. Boyer also talks about emotional discipline, something that's rarely discussed in the fitness world. For him, controlling your ego, handling defeat, and staying humble are just as important as training hard or eating right. Boyer Coe's story reminds us that true greatness doesn't come from shortcuts. It's built through daily consistency. He started with basic weights in a garage. No fame, no spotlight, just a drive to get better every single day. And that's how he rose to the top of the bodybuilding world. If you've made it this far, it's probably because his journey spoke to you in some way. And that's exactly why this channel exists, to share real stories of athletes who built bodybuilding with sweat, courage, and heart. If this video motivated you, hit the like button. It really helps us keep creating content that inspires and educates. And if you want to go even further in supporting the channel, consider becoming a member. You'll get access to exclusive content and help keep this project alive. While you're here, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Every week, we drop new videos about bodybuilding legends, sport curiosities, classic training routines, and deep reflections on performance, health, and lifestyle. Around here, we value true bodybuilding, the kind that goes beyond looks and reveals powerful life stories. Now I want to hear from you. What part of Boyer Coe's journey hit you the hardest? Was it his ethics, his classic physique, or the way he stuck to his values through the decades? Drop a comment below. I read every single one, and I love seeing how these stories connect with each of you. Who knows? Your comment might show up in the next video. And if you're still in the zone and want more motivation and insight, check out the video linked in the card above. There, we dive into the story of another bodybuilding icon who, just like Boyer, pushed boundaries and left an unforgettable legacy. You'll be surprised by the connections between these stories. It's a masterclass in dedication and perseverance. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete, a beginner, or just a fan of the sport. Stories like Boyer Coe's speak to all of us. They show that success starts with the small choices we make each day, with the desire to be better even when no one's watching. Thanks for sticking around until the end. And remember, here on this channel, every video is an invitation to believe in yourself, learn from the giants of the past, and write your own story of resilience. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, become a member, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, warrior.